Welcome, folks, to the Shawn1113 podcast show, recorded on February 24th, 2026. Thank you so much for joining me, wherever you may be, and whatever platform you're listening to, anywhere and everywhere in the world. If you love this podcast, everything will be listed below. Please put a 5-star rating. Also, consider email me at Shawn47k at gmail.com. Shawn47k at gmail.com for any inquiries or commentary or whatever. And with that, before we do, RIP Bill Masterowski and Rondé Moore. That's all I'm going to say about that. And Robert Carradine, Revenge of the Nerds, what have you. So RIP to those gentlemen as well. With that, let's go to the sports world at the moment. Um, Before we get to the Olympics and all that other stuff, I want to check on college basketball first. Um, I'm kind of beginning to change my mind about Duke. They might very well be the number one seed going in the NCAA tournament. Of course, we got the conference tournaments and what have you, but the way they beat Michigan even on a neutral court. I got to tell you, right now, Duke was impressive. Duke to me is going to be probably the team to beat at the moment, followed by Michigan and Arizona. Again, there's still a lot of college basketball left before we even get to the conference tournament. So I am definitely looking forward to that. We're almost in March now, so everything is about to really speed up, in my opinion. So NBA, Detroit and Oklahoma are still the best teams in the East. NHL will resume pretty soon, if not already. English Premier League, I have not talked about in weeks. Arsenal still leading at the moment, followed by Man City winning. So, still, again, we're not that far into the end of the English Premier League season by 5 points. Aston Villa lost. Man United right now. Let me take a look at it for one second. Continues to win to their credit. They won 4 of the last 5. Chelsea, Liverpool, Brentford, Bournemouth, and then who gets in right now? West Ham. Um, Wolverhampton is out of the will pretty much be deregulated. Burnley will be deregulated. It's West Ham, Nottingham Forest, Leeds, and West Ham for that deregulation spot. Who knows what's going to happen going to May, but we'll see what happens there, in my opinion. And now let's get to the Olympics. USA hockey, hurrah! USA women's hockey, hurrah! Um, I said it before the Winter Olympics. The most exciting thing, only reason anybody watches the Olympics is the hockey, and no disappointments there in both of them. Especially the men's game, Canada outscored the U.S. and couldn't put that second goal in the net. And Hellebuck was incredible. Is the reason they won this game, especially that first save. That almost if Hellebuck goes another direction other than left, that goal would have gone in, and then the breakaway could have gone in as well if it went high in the stick. Yeah, Canada, you did have chances to win that game and couldn't do it. You just couldn't do it. I think you're pissed because you just couldn't do it. Couldn't get that second goal in when you needed that goal the most, and the U.S. took advantage of it when they did, especially with that golden goal overtime. Alyssa Liu, I'll get to back in a moment. Alyssa Liu did not expect figure skating gold with 2 gold medals. Very refreshing to watch that. Jack Hughes and Alyssa Liu, in my opinion, um, it was the story of the games, just respecting the country they live in. Alyssa Lewis special when we have two people who two American traders that that they I mean the Chinese that China just said let me give you some money and you can represent China. Those are traders. Alyssa Liu, no. Her father, like I said, they got out of that China and their communist regime and made a life, fled to the U.S. and made a life for herself. That's a great story within itself. And you know what? I'm going to put you my opinion. If you don't like it, I don't care. Because if people like it, I don't care. But Americans are so privileged to even be born in this country. For immigrants who have legally done it, this is American privilege. The privilege of Americans being born here or immigrating legally here is the American dream, in my opinion. But when you go to countries like Iran, China, Cuba, Venezuela, we don't, and they flee here for free to those oppressionist countries with oppression, with real oppression, and want to flee here and do it legally. But but you know what? Most Americans do not have an actual clue. Do not have an actual clue. We don't. I don't. You don't. And most Americans have this fake outrage. No, damn well. Well, they have no idea what oppression is unless they visited. Let's we any of us visit any of those countries and see it for ourselves. Okay, it's simple as that. This country has the privilege of being less oppressed than any other country in the world. And we just make it. Well, we're gonna we play this main character syndrome like, hey, we're oppressed. We don't have any rights. Crying with fake tears and fake outrage because most of us do not have any idea, any idea of what oppression is. Coming having going to a country that has oppression. You get what I'm saying? Like I said, Iran, Cuba, China, Venezuela, for example. Ask them and that's for example. Any one of those countries that fled to the United States, ask them what oppression is. We play the role that like we're oppressionists, but until you talk to one of those countries that actually have it, most of us Americans don't have a damn clue, and that's my opinion about it. Opinion about that. Jack, this is not a political show, but if it's gonna the identity politics is just like main character syndrome at this point. Simple as that. Um, Jack Hughes, very refreshing for him to talk. I don't care whether it's political, a list of loose political opinions or Jack Hughes. I don't give a damn. They respect this country enough to represent this country, just like any other country in the world. Simple as that. Just listen to his interview and the way they conduct themselves. That's all I'm going to say. And also, I would be remiss with the also was refreshing the hockey players paid tribute to Johnny Gaudreau and his brother who was killed by a drunk driver. They pay homage to that and they pay respect to that. That was refreshing as well. So that's my opinion about the Olympics. I've said already enough about that. Golf, a new first timer, winning the I think won the Genesis Open. Yeah, they won the Genesis Open. We're not that far from the Masters, folks. We're not that far from the Masters golf tournament. In tennis, we're not that far really from French Open, but that's in May though. That's in May. Boxing, congratulations to Ryan Garcia. I thought Barrios was going to beat him, but Garcia, when I was looking at the highlights at least, Garcia just dominated that fight. And I can see why he won it by unanimous decision in that one. UFC, Sean Strickland winning and dominating his fight. Mm. And that was something to watch there when I was even looking at highlights there. So, and World Baseball Classic is going to be on pretty soon, not far from now. And of course, spring training is already ongoing, and the Major League Baseball season will be on before you know it. So, a lot plus combine NFL. We almost forgot about that, and then the NFL draft now for. So March and April coming in will be some exciting things that are going on. Will be going on there. So income is incoming, folks, in sports. And like I said, March and April are probably generally in sports now that the Winter Olympics ended will be some of the most exciting times in sports. So with that, that is the Shawn1113 podcast show for February 24th, 2026. Like I said, if you love this commentary, put a 5 star. Please consider giving a 5 star rating and comment. Everything will be linked in the description, and also will be shared on X as well. And for that, I've said more than enough. Thank you so much for listening to this episode and the Shaw 1113 podcast show anywhere and everywhere in the world, wherever platform you will be listening to. Thank you so much. God bless you.